Hazuki. Since my father's death at the hand of Blonde D, I've been engaged in a quest for vengeance. That explains the martial arts training, the dangerous addiction to billiards, and my association with Nozomi. Now, if you'll let me go, I wish to resume my journey.
Shenmue on Dreamcast, rated T14.
Shut up!
Oh, hello, yo.
You didn't think open world gameplay started with GTA, did you? I can see you running around a huge, vibrant analogue of New York, carrying out mob hits and killing hookers, but have you thought about spending a few weeks walking slowly around a sleepy Japanese village in the 1980s, where the shops are only open for a few minutes a day, and you have to be home in bed by 8 or you pass out and your mum yells at you? Hey look, it's not as dull as it sounds, okay? You can get a part-time job to save up money to go on a boat.
And don't go wrecking the forklifts, or the formula have your ass.
Okay, most people know the broad strokes of Shenmue at this stage, or certainly the memes.
Do you know any place where sailors hang out?
Sailors? Yeah, I do. They hang out at bars.
Which bar do they hang out at? Do you know any place where sailors might hang out? You got a minute? Nozomi, do you know of any shops where sailors might go?
Oh, for God's sake, are you gay? Are you a gay man?
No!
Are you?
No!
But we are deep in an era where the games of the time require some context to enjoy. Through the late 80s and early to mid 90s, there were a lot of classic games that remain enjoyable to this day, at least partly due to their simplicity. But in the early 3D era, there was a lot of experimentation that led to experiences best enjoyed in their own time. These experiments became formula that were consistently iterated on and refined over the next couple of decades, which means their original prototypes obviously aren't going to age all that well. But it doesn't mean they weren't incredible achievements for their time. Shenmue was the very first fully 3D open world game where you could spend your time, in real time, using your watch, however you choose. There'd never been anything this ambitious, and it was extremely impressive in 2000. Unfortunately, almost all of its most incredible and ambitious achievements are things that have been included in countless games since, and then polished to near perfection in some. Oh yeah, I'm playing the remaster here, by the way, because capturing footage from a Dreamcast in 2025? No idea.
You are made of stupid.
This game didn't just take you through a linear sequence of events. Following the tragic opening of your father being beaten to death by this dickhead, you find yourself set on a course to solve the mystery of this weird mirror he stole, and get revenge, obviously. I mean, your brother isn't going to do it. He's worse than useless.
Ryo-san, is everything okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. I want to ask you about that man.
Oh, that man.
The black suits? Catch the names?
I don't know. They came out of nowhere.
I see. Thanks, Fuku-san.
Actually, no, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to make fun of this guy. Is he alright? You know, in the head, like.
Ryo-san, where are you going? You're not going after them. Please, don't. Look what they did to Hazuki-sensei.
Okay, well, special or not, he's not going to help. Anyway, you need information, so you set out into your little hometown, which is really more of a village, to speak to everyone you can to get the intel. It's up to you who you talk to and when. It's your choice how quick you go at it. If you want, you can just let your inner teenager out and spend your pocket money in the arcade, playing real Sega arcade games, by the way. Hang On and Space Harrier are both in here in full. Perhaps at this point you've deduced that a lot of the people who worked on this went on to make the Yakuza games.
Guess I'll try it.
Welcome to the family. Get ready.
You can waste all your cash on little capsule toys or drinks machines, and it's a good job really, because while all of this was mind-explodingly new and awesome in 2000, there is a lot of waiting around. The game doesn't respect your time. Shenmue progresses on a real clock with a day-night cycle, and the town responds accordingly. Get a lead in a particular store, you better be there during opening hours, because if not, you have to wait and come back tomorrow. This does seem like a deliberate obfuscation of forward progression, and it makes no sense in the here and now. What could possibly be the upside of such a mechanic? Well, it was realism. This was a time in which being inconvenienced in this way actually felt kind of amazing because the game world was something that seemed to exist without you. It made you feel more like you were interacting with a living, breathing world rather than being spoon-fed a narrative whenever you wanted it. And it was different enough at that time to avoid being overly annoying, however infuriating it is today.
Excuse me?
Forgive me. Could you come back a bit later?
That's not the only way Shenmue's ambitious though, because it's not just an adventure game, it's a fighting game too. When you do eventually encounter enemies on your journey to turn Land D inside out, including Gollum from Lord of the Rings for some reason.
Huh?
The game switches to a more traditional one-on-one fighting game perspective, and takes on the gameplay of Virtua Fighter. There are special moves that you have to learn by training with this exceptionally dodgy character in a park. Given what I've just described about waiting for shops to open, oh, and the fact that I wasn't joking about being home on time, by the way, old Mama Hazuki runs a real tight ship. She won't have any of your gallivanting shenanigans.
Ine-san?
Yo-san, I hate to scold you, but I will if I have to. Is that clear?
Yes.
You get home by 8, or you get the slipper. So when I tell you that this faux Virtua Fighter thing is comfortably the worst part of the game, that'll give you some idea about how bad it is. It's just super slow, super clunky, and unresponsive. Plus, Ryo is deliberately terrible at it until you've spent enough hours training and upping his abilities. I had forgotten just what a downer this game is, mind. The atmosphere, particularly in the early stages, is really heavy, and there's a real sense of a family experiencing tremendous grief after the murder of their patriarch.
Ryo-san, you should still be resting.
I'm fine, really. And you? Are you alright?
Yes, but I must keep busy, otherwise I'll get depressed.
I understand. But you needn't work too hard.
Yes.
I'm just not sure that's exactly what we teenagers were looking for in our brand new next-gen gaming console experiences. There's also a really sad and awkward romance with Ryo's girlfriend, who he really doesn't seem to like.
I'm going to Canada.
What?
I took a while to decide, but...
Hey, if it's what you've decided, it's what you've decided.
I chose to think that something got lost in the translation here, but it's a bit bleak overall. So why is this on the list? Because Shenmue has what is so sorely lacking in so many games. It has charm, it oozes charm. This was something made by people who really believed in it and loved it. They had ambition and they gave us something new and very genuine. It's hard not to fall in love with those things no matter how flawed they are. Also, working part-time as a forklift driver is so good, it should be a game on its own. Oh, good then. Good, excellent. It's an old-fashioned term now, I suppose, but calling someone ugly as sin is a decent insult. It's reasonably powerful, that one. Invoking scripture and faith is a pretty good way to add punch to slagging someone off. But if you really want to go in hard, like properly savage, try this.
Yeah, he came by 4 or 5 days ago. Ugly as the worst sin.
Not just any sin, the worst sin. The ugliest it's possible for any of God's creatures to be. Fucking ice cold, man.